So, I'm driving the car, so excuse me if there's a lot of bad noise or whatever. But today, of course, as the title says, we're going to be talking about Conor McGregor versus Justin Gaethje in a potential matchup. Now, when you look at these two opponents, I mean, of course, they're primarily known for their striking abilities, right? And that's a very interesting fight because they're very different in their style of striking. Now, I'm not saying this will necessarily happen, and this has been talked about, I know Chael Sonnen's mentioned it several times, made several videos about it. Talking about, the fighter and the kid. Brendan Schaub's gave his opinion on that, of course, favoring Conor McGregor, but he's kind of been on McGregor's nuts for a while now, as they say. But, I think, for me, I'd have to say, it's not as clear-cut, and, this, when I was looking at this fight, kind of reviewing it, thinking about it, it kind of reminded me of the matchup between Gaethje and Tony, in that I'd have to really delve into how Gaethje could win this fight, because so many people were saying Tony's going to beat him, and I was the only, well, no, not the only one, but I was one of the guys who just couldn't shake this feeling that Gaethje was going to get it done, or that he would at least have a much higher chance of getting it done than people gave him. And man, too bad I didn't bet money on that fight, though. It just seemed like from a betting perspective, it seemed like too much of a risky fight. Still regret not putting it on there, though. I felt like he could really get it done. But anyway, now with Conor, we all know, here's the thing. This has been said before. If you look back in his fights, look, if he comes in calm, cool, collected, and he goes and snipes him with that left, of course, right? The striking's so different between them. And we keep talking about Gaethje's wrestling ability, blah, 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 right? He doesn't use it. It's almost like a mute point at this, I mean, if you look back, a very different example, but if you look at Eddie Alvarez versus Conor McGregor, of course, Eddie, admitted himself that he played into Conor's game. Because Conor's really good at getting in your head and making you want to stand and trade with him when you shouldn't. When you should just be losing. When it's obvious, use a lot of leg kicks, use a lot of wrestling to get him out of the way. And Justin Gaethje, you think, okay, well, Justin Gaethje has great leg kicks. I mean, he eats up the leg, man. He will eat a shot, though. Of course, the best answer to a leg kick is what? A fucking punch to the face, right? So, I mean, we just assume that when Justin Gaethje, because sometimes he's relentless with it, when he's going ahead and kicking, when he's kicking those leg kicks, he's going to eat a shot, right? He's going to get a powerful left from McGregor. That could happen. But I don't think he's going to use his wrestling. I don't think at all that he's going to be get taken out the way that Eddie Alvarez was. I just don't. And if you look at that, though, Eddie Alvarez weighed in that, of course, he's going to say that McGregor's going to get it done. Of course he's going to say this. Now, because he lost to it, but I just think you can't just, look, Chael Sonnen said, of course, well, we have to take the words of the guys that's been in there in the octagon with them. We have to take former opponents of McGregor or Justin Gaethje. We have to take their word for it. I mean, we have to kind of put a lot of, in other words, their word has a lot of weight to it. And I don't really think so. I think it's just kind of, I don't be rude, but it's like saving face, right? Now, Dustin Poirier, though, he's been talking about how, Justin has had a good shot. There's a lot of opinions. We can hear it. You have to take it with a grain of salt, though. I think this is Justin Gaethje 2.0, man. I mean, he's Coach Trevor Whitman talking about, hey, don't get too comfortable there. You know what's going to happen. He's like, because Justin Gaethje's having fun. If you look on the stool, right, when he was fighting Tony Ferguson on the stool, he's having fun, looking happy, but he was also eating shots. And his coach Tony Whitman's like, don't freaking get reckless in there, He's like, don't get too comfortable, mind your P's and Q's, stay sharp. And it's true, I mean, with his boxing, that dirty boxing. Now, this is another thing, though. What weight class is going to happen? What weight? This is at 155. This is at 155. I don't know. I feel like I almost give an edge to Justin at this point. And if they want to move all the way to 170, I don't think Justin Gaethje is going to have a problem doing that. I mean, he cuts. He has to really cut down. It's not a hard weight cut at all, but I mean, obviously you can tell he balloons up out of camp. I almost feel like, to be quite frank with you, I feel like he balloons up naturally. His walk around weight is naturally higher than Conor McGregor's. I think Conor McGregor tried to add a lot of extra muscle to build up position. He tried to bulk up to 170, but I feel like Justin Gaethje is just natural. I mean, if you look at their body types, they look very different, but that's why a walk around weight. Justin Gaethje doesn't obviously look like he does too much. I don't know, I'm not an expert, but he's more focused on his training as far as the martial arts, right? Just like hitting the bag and all that. He's not really trying to balloon up by bulking up and putting on a lot of extra muscle. He cares about having decent cardio and being able to land shots constantly. McGregor wants to kind of snipe you. He wants to get you out there early within the first, second round. And I feel like I said, when you look at Justin Gaethje, he's not trying to live up to his name to highlight too much. He always does, but he doesn't have to go seek out that crazy style. He doesn't always have, you can see, like, he's really minding his P's and Q's. He turtles up, and I've broken this down, man. He turtles up. He wants you to tire yourself out a little bit. He turtles up, similar to Tony. But Tony needs a lot of shots. I mean, they both do, but I think at least Gaethje tries to guard up more with that, that kind of almost like a peekaboo style. He just turtles up with his forearms. He blocks most of the punches. I mean, the hooks will get through, of course, but when he feels the hook get through, he'll let you get comfortable, like, oh, maybe land one or two, but then he'll explode out and land a shot of his own. And I feel like I could see as this. I don't see Justin getting taken out in the first or second. I don't. If he survives, I think if he survives, he has the cardio to keep fighting like that. Keep fighting in the later rounds like he did against Tony, and he's picking his shots more. Now, obviously, I think it's a possibility, and like as far as crisp striking, I mean, of course, right, we are going to give it to McGregor, right? He has more tools of kicks. I mean, but there's that X factor. I mean, like we talked about this, Justin Gaethje's rolling thunder. He doesn't mind making it ugly and wild in there when he has to. But I think this Justin Gaethje 2.0 is an enigma. You're not going to see, I mean, just because Conor McGregor takes out Cowboy early like he did, I mean, you think that's going to happen against Gaethje? It's possible. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't think so. But yeah, I think it's a closer matchup than people are saying. I don't know. I wonder what the betting line is going to be. If McGregor's really going to be a heavy favorite, I might put money on Justin. I mean, we'll see how they look in the weigh-ins, what weight it would be in. Really interesting fight, though. But I just feel like I think McGregor could get comfortable. He could try to land that right in the club. Maybe in the clinch he wants to land those shoulders, whatever. But I mean, you don't want to. If you get in the clinch with Justin Gaethje, yeah, you think you're winning. You think you're landing shots. He will explode out there, man. I could see him landing some. I can see it kind of sucking out. When McGregor's eating some leg kicks, he's getting a little gas. He's felt the power of Gaethje. He's like, oh crap. I can see him start to fade a little bit, and that's dangerous. Because once he starts to fade, those shots, they're not coming out so frequently. His prized right hand is not going to be finding the target as well. Early on, yeah, absolutely. But I think Justin Gaethje can weather a storm. If anyone can, he can. He has a good chin, and he has, like I said, his dirty boxing. I think the angles, like I said, that's simple. It's not like, and when you look at it, what did he do? All he did, he's had this boxing. He's got good hands. He's not as sloppy as people say. Justin Gaethje, they think he's just crazy. He's not just relying on power. It's the fact that he scaled it back. He's like Justin Gaethje 2.0, like I said 100 times. He's scaling it back to where he will pick his shots. He'll guard a little more, And even when he has wilder days, he would still do that. He would let his opponents tire him out. He'd kind of reset. You think, he'd take a deep breath, get his cardio back, and explode onto it, So I think he's really good with his energy management. I think the basics of boxing are there. He has the fundamentals down, and he's learned to use it. I think Trevor Whitman and him kind of like, he's listening to his coaches more. I think he'll make it ugly. So he's okay if you make it ugly. He can thrive in that environment. But he also knows to pull back the aggression. So I think like I said, it's a lot closer than people are saying. And I think if people are assuming McGregor is going to get him out there, he's like just going to snipe him out like he did at Eddie Alvarez. It's possible, but I don't see it. I think Justin Gaethje getting McGregor gassed and hurt